there's one thing that I'd like the WWE to do differently in 2024 compared to 2023, it's to give us more title changes. Because if you look back at 2023, most of the major titles did not really see any changes. I'm talking the Undisputed Championship, the World Heavyweight Championship, the Women's World Title, the Intercontinental Championship. All of those stayed stagnant throughout the entire year. And don't get me wrong, I like lengthy title reigns, but some of these are getting a little bit ridiculous. It was an oddity to have somebody hold the title for over 300 days, and now it's starting to become the norm. Seth Rollins, Gunther, Rhea Ripley, and of course Roman Reigns are all having historic title reigns, all at the same time. And although, like I said, I'm cool with historic title reigns, it's kind of frustrating with so many happening at the same time because it almost feels like it's taking away opportunities from others. So here are the WWE superstars that I'd like to see win some championships in 2024. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications. If you're a wrestling fan, you're gonna like this channel because we upload daily wrestling content. We did all through the holidays, all through 2023, and we're gonna do it all through 2024. And if you want even more wrestling content, go check out my Patreon, patreon.com/SantisZap, which is going to be revamped in 2024 with even more content like the Raw reviews, SmackDown reviews, and now including the NXT reviews alongside the Wrestling is Cool podcast 3 days earlier than all of the free feeds. In fact, we have an end of the year podcast on there that's not going to be seen on free feeds, so go check it out, patreon.com/SantisZap. The link is in the description. All right, let's jump into it. So for me, one of my New Year's hopes is that the women's tag team division gets revamped and gets treated like a proper tag team division as opposed to just a place to toss women where they don't have anything else to do with them. Because traditionally, the women's division in terms of the tag teams has just been, hey, you have nothing to do, you have nothing to do, let's put you together and make you a tag team. That's kind of what happens with the likes of Tegan Nox and Natalya, for example. However, we're starting to notice that there has been more of a focus on creating actual tag teams with a tag team identity. And I don't think that there's a better tag team with a better tag team identity right now than the Witches, Alba Fire, and Isla Dawn. And when I look at the landscape of the women's tag team division, I feel like they can really use these two to anchor the division and make it a more legitimate division within the world of professional wrestling and use these two as the marquee cornerstones of that division. They have a great look about them. They're both great workers. They've got a fantastic personality in terms of what works in the world of the WWE, and they got a really awesome tag team finisher. Like, to me, they are the entire package when it comes to women's tag teams. And they've been off television for a really long time. I don't know the reason for that, so I'd like to see them come back. And when they do come back in full force, I want to see them being immediately placed into an opportunity to win the tag titles and have them help revitalize that division. Because this division just shouldn't be where you toss the misfit toys where you have nothing to do with them. You should create an identity for all of these teams. So have the team that's holding the titles be a team with a tag team identity. They're doing it right now with KC2. That's fantastic. So at the very least, they're taking the right steps towards doing that. But I feel like the final evolution of really making the women's tag team division into something worth watching, it's putting the title and making the division revolve around these two. So in 2024, the first year that Triple H is going to be 100% completely in control of booking decisions and the WWE as a whole, I'd like to see these two Triple H and Shawn Michaels gals be pushed to the top and be women's world tag team champions. Next up, I have Bayley. Now, a lot of the people that I have on this list are individuals that are on their way to winning like their first major title. However, Bayley has won plenty of titles. She's won just about everything that there is to win in the women's division, and yet somehow it still feels like she's never been being properly used as a focal point of the division. And it's a shame because Bayley is fantastic. In 2023 really demonstrated just how much of a range of a character worker she can be. And with all of the work that she's put in 2023 and the way that she's helped mentor those around her like Dakota Kai, Io Sky, etc., I really feel like they need to reward her with a world title. But not only that, like, treat her as a genuine threat, not just this fodder champion. Because whenever Bayley holds the belt, it's always sort of just felt like, when is she gonna lose it, as opposed to letting us enjoy the reign of somebody that's so good at her craft like Bayley? In my opinion, I think she should be winning the Royal Rumble this year, and I think that she should be getting a marquee match at WrestleMania where we can really celebrate and finally give her flowers for the great work that she's been putting through the pandemic and over the last year and a bit. I don't want her to win the tag titles. I don't want her to win the Money in the Bank. I just want her to win the Women's World title in a major show. She deserves that. She deserves the limelight, and we absolutely need to see it in 2024, and I think we're going to. Next one is a little bit of a reach. I'm going to go with Braun Breaker, who's one of the top players in NXT, moving into the main roster and winning one of the major titles there. And when I say a major title, I do include the Intercontinental Championship and the United States Championship in this picture, alongside the World Heavyweight title. Like, to me, Braun Breaker is a 100% ready-made product to go right into the main roster and be utilized as a main event caliber guy. I don't think that you need to wait a couple of years for him to develop. I think he is ready right here, right now, and I think they're gonna pull the trigger in 2024 if they are to move him to the main roster. Here's the thing, and we all need to just get used to this. Braun Breaker is going to be your next Roman Reigns, most likely. He is going to be the next top guy in the WWE at some point or another. This is just what's written in the stars. This is what the WWE has been planning for. This is their next heir to take the throne, and we might as well get used to it now in 2024 with an Intercontinental Championship reign or a US title reign. Now, if he does win, I don't want to see him hold the title for 300 plus days. We just don't necessarily need that when we've had all of these historic title reigns back to back to back to back, because if we just continue to have historic title reigns, then none of them are going to really feel special moving forward. I think we can go back to the world of, a 6-month reign is pretty good. Yeah, I think he's done everything that there is to do in NXT. I mean, I've been saying that for the better part of like 6 months now, and he's still in NXT, but I think he's done there. I think he's going to debut at the Royal Rumble, and I think he's going to be making an instant impact in the main roster. Like I said, just get used to it, because you're going to be seeing a lot of Braun Breaker for the next 15, 20 years. Next up, I think it's time to celebrate Chelsea Green in 2024. I think we need to put a women's world title on her. She has just played this snively, evil, coward Karen role so well that I feel like she can be a great women's world champion just off the back of her great character work. I know that a lot of people think that she isn't necessarily the greatest in-ring worker, and I'm inclined to agree, but again, professional wrestling isn't just about how good you are in the ring, because Chelsea Green in some cases is leagues above most women when it comes to her character work, her backstage shenanigans, the way she interacts with people on social media. She's just great at this. And with the way that she has blossomed in 2023, helped carry the women's tag division, help elevate somebody like Piper Niven out of borderline obscurity and near career ending gimmicks like when she was Doudrop, I think she's due for a nice little thank you. And if I'm booking this, honestly, to me, she is the perfect character to go around carrying the Money in the Bank briefcase. Chelsea Green as Miss Money in the Bank may just be the most obnoxious character that the WWE could possibly feed us, and I'm here for it, damn it. The women's division has so many heavy hitters at the top of the main event scene that it's weird to comprehend a world where somebody like Chelsea Green could beat like a Rhea Ripley, a Charlotte, a Bianca. It's just hard to compute. However, if you give her the Money in the Bank briefcase, then that's just the great equalizer, and now all of a sudden somebody like Chelsea Green becomes a genuine threat, and she can be a great champion that continues to get away time after time after time with cheating, playing politics, whatever it might be, in order to keep that championship. I think that she could be a great Money in the Bank winner, and I think on top of that, she would be a fantastic world champion in 2024. I mean, I have him here because, like, dude, at some point you gotta cash this thing in. And I know he's holding a title at the moment going into the new year, but that's not what I mean. I'm not meaning a tag title for him. I mean a world championship. This man absolutely deserves it with the fantastic year he had in 2023, helping carry the Raw main event scene, helping carry Bad Bunny to one of the most entertaining matchups and feuds of the entire year. This man has truly and genuinely earned it. He has elevated himself by 1,000-fold in the span of the past 12 months. And I would hate for back-to-back Money in the Bank briefcase holders to just fail. I really don't think that a character like Damien Priest can recover from not cashing in properly. I'll be honest, I feel like if he cashes in after how long he's been holding it, how much he's been teasing, how much of a badass he's been on Monday Night Raw, I feel like this would borderline kill his character if he fails his cash in. I know that the Raw main event scene with that World Heavyweight Championship just got real nasty, real murky, and super difficult to predict now that CM Punk is there, because now there's all of these different sharks like Drew McIntyre hanging around, CM Punk hanging around, all around that World Championship, where it's hard to fathom a world where we can fit in Damien Priest without just making him feel like a transitional champion. Unfortunately, I do feel like if he does win, because of just how packed the main event scene, he's likely going to be a transitional champion, but still, I feel like he at the very least, deserves that. Fellas, the holidays are here. I'm already in the mood. I'm wearing my Jingle Bell Rock shirt, and it's gonna be bustling, it's gonna be busy, and you can't forget to eat healthy. And for that, I've got the perfect sponsor for today's video, Factor. Factor is America's #1 ready-to-eat meal delivery service. Factor is gonna make sure that you're eating well for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, straight-to-your-door meals. With Factor meals being delivered right to your door, you're gonna be saving a tremendous amount of time because you won't have to do any grocery shopping, you won't have to do any meal prepping, you won't have to stress out about what to make. It's just coming directly to your door based on your preferences and what you want to eat that week. And Factor offers a variety of different meals to fit different types of diets. If you're being calorie conscious, you could look at their Calorie Smart options, which are meals that are 550 calories or less. If you want lots of protein, you could look at their Protein Plus, which comes with meals with 30 plus grams of protein. They got keto options, vegan options, veggie options, you name it. So this December, get Factor and enjoy some fresh, tasty, delicious meals that are conveniently delivered right to your door. Just simply pick the meals that you want, wait for them to be conveniently delivered to your door, toss them in the microwave, and within 2 minutes, you're eating a nice, healthy meal with no hassle or prep. So head on over to factormeals.com/Santi50 and use code Santi50 to get 50% off. That's code Santi50 at factormeals.com/Santi50 to get 50% off. That's a pretty wicked deal, y'all, so go check it out. Now back to the video. This might be the worst kept secret in the WWE. The Creed brothers are obviously slated to have a giant 2024. I mean, just look at how crazy the last 6 weeks of their 2023 call-up was. They've been main eventing Raws, making run-ins to save top babyfaces like Cody Rhodes, destroying everyone in the tag team division. It's crazy the opportunities that these guys have already been afforded just 6 weeks into their main roster call-up. So I don't think that it takes a genius to tell you that they're likely going to win gold in 2024, whether it's tag gold or frankly, Julius Creed winning singles gold. Like Julius Creed, no offense to Brutus, I feel like Julius Creed is someone that the WWE sees as a major marquee player in a singles division when he's in his 30s and early 40s. He's just such a special, borderline generational talent with the things that he's able to do in the ring that, no disrespect again to the tag team division, I feel like he could be wasted there if you just keep him there for your entirety of his career. So 2024, Creeds are either winning some tag team gold, or I wouldn't be surprised if they pull the trigger on Julius Creed to win the Intercontinental Championship or the United States Championship. I would not put that out of the question. Next up, we have Jade Cargill. Listen, once Jade Cargill inevitably finally debuts on WWE, it has to be the main roster. With how much hype they've put around her, I feel like it would really diminish her star power if they start her off in NXT, because if you've got this much hype, it should mean that you're good to go for the main roster. That's my opinion, and I feel like that's how fans are gonna see the situation play out. When she debuts, I would not be surprised if she is pushed to the caliber of 2002 Brock Lesnar. And if you know what they did with 2002 Brock Lesnar, then you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, let me recap you. 2002 Brock Lesnar destroyed the Hardys, won the King of the Ring by beating Rob Van Dam, annihilated Hulk Hogan and made him pass out in the middle of the ring, beat The Rock to become undisputed champion, beat The Undertaker, won the Royal Rumble, and main evented WrestleMania, all within the span of 11 months. That is what 2002, early 2003 Brock Lesnar accomplished. I would not be surprised if this is what's in the books for Jade Cargill. And because I think that she's gonna get that monstrous 2002 Lesnar push, I think it's an easy bet that she is going to win a world championship within the first 6 months of her main roster run in the WWE. I wouldn't be surprised if she's the one that finally dethrones Rhea Ripley's incredibly long and kind of underwhelming championship reign. Maybe she squashes Io Sky. Maybe they have a dream match between her, Charlotte, or her and Bianca Belair, whatever it might be. But at some point or another in 2024, if they finally debut her, Jade Cargill is gonna have gold around that waist. Main event Jey Uso has felt less and less main event-ish these days. He's gotten 2 world title opportunities in 2023, which is a tremendous accomplishment for somebody that's gone off of being a perennial tag teamer. He got a chance at Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, he got a chance at Seth Rollins on an episode of Monday Night Raw, and they just chose to not pull the trigger on him. So it's possible that maybe the WWE doesn't necessarily see main event Jey as main event, but that's okay because there's other titles out there and they don't necessarily need to be the world titles for him to have a nice fruitful run as a champion. The Intercontinental Championship exists, the US Championship exists, and I could see a world where they use main event Jey to finally dethrone Gunther. It's not necessarily something I'd love to see, but I could see that. And as we go into the new year, Jey is already starting to slowly feud with Imperium, which could potentially lead up to a match against Gunther at some point or another. But if they want us to believe that main event Jey is main event worthy, then I think you got to pull the trigger on him in 2024 and prove to us that he is a worthy main event caliber singles superstar. Now I know you don't necessarily need a title in order to be a main event superstar. I get it. However, I just think that to help justify Jey Uso's run as a single star, I think like he needs that stamp of approval, and that stamp of approval can come in the way of a singles championship run. And I think that 2024 is the right year to pull the trigger on him. I think it's gonna happen, so I'm gonna go ahead and book that. Yeet. Look, no doubt about it, LA Knight has become one of the biggest stars in the WWE. However, if you go back to the summer, whenever he was starting to slowly really build himself up, all he could talk about was that he was here to win gold, that he was here to win every single belt, the United States Championship. He talked about that for a bit. He talked about Roman's belt, and he's never been able to actually win anything. So as much as somebody like LA Knight talks about gold, this man has actually won nothing. However, 2024 has to be the year where they do something with LA Knight. They can't just let this superstar aura just dissipate into nothing. They need to capitalize on this, and one of the best ways to capitalize on crazy momentum like LA Knight has is by pulling the trigger on him and getting him a championship. Many of you already know this, but I'm of the belief that LA Knight is probably not going to win a world title. However, he can still have a major marquee match at WrestleMania for the United States Championship, and I think it's going to be against Logan Paul, and I think that's going to be the biggest United States Championship match of all time. So I think that 2024 is finally the year that this guy that's been talking about gold for the better part of 2023 finally get some gold in 2024. Sami Zayn is just such a special case in WWE. It's been beautiful to see his rise from somebody who went from being just a laughing stock, you know, feuding with Johnny Knoxville, to somebody that's a main event caliber star that if you were to put a world title on him, I think people would rejoice. You got a good opportunity in 2023 against Roman Reigns in one of the best matches of the year, a match that he came super close to winning. He won some gold in 2023 with Kevin Owens, but I do believe that Sami Zayn is that guy now. I do believe that he is capable of being a main event player, and I do believe that he is capable of being your world heavyweight champion. I've already sort of brainstormed this. If there is a world where Drew McIntyre defeats Super Seth Rollins, I think that the best candidate to beat somebody like Drew McIntyre is the guy that he already has history with, the guy that's there to take down the powers that be, in this case being the powerful bully that is Drew McIntyre, in Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is just the perfect role for that. So if 2024 is going to be a year where we see more championship reigns, where we aren't seeing just these incredibly long historic reigns, if we're going to bounce the titles around, I would like to see one of those bounce passes land in the hands of Sami Zayn in 2024, and I do think that it's entirely possible. In my opinion, Santos Escobar saved his career in the latter part of 2023 with that heel turn. Had he not turned heel, he was just going to turn into the most bland, most boring baby faces that the WWE had. Now, I think that he's a fresh character with great motivations that I think could win a title in 2024, and now he's also surrounded by the great youngsters that are Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo, maybe like the remaking of Legado del Fantasma, that I think could not only make them a strong faction in Friday Night SmackDown, but also make their leader, Santos Escobar, a worthy United States champion. Let's not forget that the whole heel turn surrounded the United States Championship, with Rey Mysterio stepping in and stealing Santos Escobar's limelight and stealing his opportunity to be able to become the United States champion. So I think if we want a full circle story for this downfall, this downward spiral, but also awesome rise of Santos Escobar, I think that we need to crown him as a United States champion at some point. All right, folks, those are the people that I think should be winning some championships. Obviously, there's way more that you could have on here. This is your opportunity to tell me in the comments who you think should become a champion in 2024. Sound off in the comments, but that's it. I'm done. Get out of here.